So before this starts, I'd like to explain why my voice sounds so bad in the Discord. It sounds like I have a jug on my head. I used a different recording software than I normally use, and for some reason it hates my microphone. Also, this video is subject to change in the future since this server is fairly new, so just keep that in mind. Hello! I am Pizza Fates, and welcome to the official BVIA Roleplay Beginners tutorial. What we're going to be talking about on this is pretty much just what to do when you join, how to get started, and things like that. We're not going to be going over like a full Discord review or nothing like that. We're going to do that in a different video actually, but yeah, today it's just going to be like a beginner's thing. So I guess let's first get started. To join the server, obviously, you have to find a link either on our YouTube channel, which you're obviously watching this on. It's right here, a link right here in the server teaser, and there's also one actually inside of the server teaser video right here. And there's going to be one in the link in the description of this video, which will probably be a lot easier for you to see. Anyway, getting back to Discord, once you first join, you're going to be taken to this screen, and it's pretty much just saying, hey, you joined, make sure you read the rules and then follow them correctly. And then you'll come down here to rules, and then the Google documents for the rules are right in here. The rules is actually this link, and then the runway numbers and stuff like that is this link. So first we're just going to be looking at the rules, and then I'll just talk to you about the runways and things like that. So right over here we have the Discord rules. I'm not going to be reading through them or anything because you can do that if you're joining, obviously. Make sure you read this part though. This is just all the rules for things for right now. Things will most likely get added in the future, depending on what people would like to do in game. And then coming over here to BVIA roleplay locations, this is just runways and things like that. So this is the main airport, and we have runway 3618 right here with runway 36 and 18 in red. I'll be going over this more at the end of the video. And then we have airfield, and then the slots to park your planes in, over here is the actual airport. I'm going to explain that in a bit. So once you have read all the rules and you think you're ready, pretty much what you do is you go into server status and see if a server is up currently. And right now, one actually is. It's a private server since Giki is hosting, and I'm re-recording this video. If it's a private server, what you want to do is you want to click on this link right here, and then it will bring you to a Steam community chat information. And then I actually don't have Steam open right now, but it's opening right here. So then that will just bring you to this little Steam group, and you can either join Giki through just going through here and click join game. It usually go over in game. So usually, actually for right now it is only me and Giki hosting, so when we say we have a private server up, just go to him or me. So with that being said, there's how to join a private server. Because it says it right here every time we say the private server is up. I really like that. And then for public servers, when we say a public server's up, we just say it right here. It just says server is now up. It doesn't say the private server is up with the link and everything. And the way to join those is either just go into the Steam group and join either me or Giki, or go into Brickrigs and go on the server list and find BVIA Roleplay. It'll say Bricksville International Airport Roleplay. But after this, you can come down to announcements, see important announcements, things like that. This is a really important thing, call signs. I'm actually going to move this up to there because it's a little more important than announcements for right now. What you want to do, obviously I use it a lot more than everybody else because I created this and nobody really remembers to use it, unfortunately, but hopefully this video will encourage them to use it. Basically with this, you just type in your call sign to your airplane, And then every time you switch an airplane, you just type your new call sign for that specific airplane into here. So like my last call sign was Bravo Romeo 456 for my Cessna. And then a way to know how to make a call sign, just come over here to pin messages. Here's the whole phonetic alphabet. That's just to say call signs. And then right here, it thanks to Giki, it tells you how to arrange them and things like that. And then military call signs, but just for a normal call sign, you can literally do anything random. Like, as long as it has 5 digits and it's set up in this format, you're good. So like, I could do Charlie Victor 789, or like literally anything like that, and then that can be your specific call sign for that plane. So that's pretty important for ATC. This is just mainly for ATC to, if they forget your call sign, just come in here and then look at your last call sign and then be able to see what it was. And then we have general in-game stuff. And again, I'm not going to be going over all of these since it's not a full Discord video. But for in-game, if you don't have a microphone, you just want to use this to talk to ATC. You still want to be in the in-game chat, but you just want to use this instead of actually talking. And then for bot commands and just any other help, you should just go into here and do exclamation mark help, and that'll bring up everything. Oh, not this stuff, because that's staff stuff. Okay, won't get rid of it. Anyway, you could just use all these commands. I'll leave. Okay, well, I can't use these ones. But you can use this one, this one, this one, and this one. There will be more added to the future with more functions. But for now, if you want to ask me or Giki something, just go ahead to exclamation point ask owner, and then type your message here, and then it'll give us a nice little message in staff chat like that. So I think that's all I have to say for now. For the beginners, and then if you wanted to, you could come down here to World War II events. All of this will not be added in the future. I mean, all of this won't be here in the future because MG, she's the one running this. MG actually has her own server in the making right now. So this is kind of useless right now, except for people who's active on this server, and then they just want to be notified when this goes up. But we can ask MG more about that in the future. So I guess that's all for Discord right now. We're gonna go ahead, hop into game, and then we're gonna go hop into Photoshop, and then I'll show you a few different things. So I guess I'll see you in game. So we are hopping in game right now, and pretty much what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be going over like certain things like you're supposed to say at certain times and things like that. Just going over a basic role play, just taking off, landing, things like that currently. So let's hop right into it. First, Giki is going to be saying he's going to ask permission to pull back from stand A1. And basically that means just he's asking permission to back up and get ready to taxi to a runway. So let me go ahead and clear on when he says that.
Bravo Victor Uniform Lima Papa, starting engines. Asking permission to push back at A1.
You have permission to push back from A1.
Copy that.
So now, before we taxi Giki, this is a great example of a landing. Basically, Trucker's going to be asking permission to land on runway 36. Every time you want to land anywhere, you have to ask permission before you land. It's just something you have to do so it doesn't cause chaos and things like that. So let me go ahead and clear Trucker while we taxi Giki to a runway.
November Bravo 024 requesting to land on runway 36.
Bravo 024, you have permission to come down on a landing for runway 36.
Copy that.
Now, right here, Giki is going to hold short before crossing onto the runway. before crossing onto the runway, you need to request permission to take off. And this is so, obviously, it doesn't cause chaos. And right here, I'm going to deny him because Trucker needs to come in for a landing, and we need to wait for Trucker. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Uniform Lima Papa asking permission to take off at 36.
Uniform Lima Papa, permission denied. We have another aircraft landing there at this time.
Copy that. Tell me when I am cleared.
Copy that. Okay, now in this instance, I'm gonna go ahead and give Giki, or in this instance ULP, Uniform Lima Papa, permission to taxi onto the runway, but not take off until the Cessna clears. So this means that obviously in a normal roleplay situation, do not take off until that Cessna clears the runway. Just clearing that up for some people who don't know that. Uniform Lima Papa, you're clear to taxi onto runway 36, but take off until that Cessna clears.
Copy that.
Okay, now Trucker is going to request permission to taxi to slot A1. I'm going to allow him to do that, but I'm going to ask him to hold short before crossing runway 2618 because there may be traffic coming on that runway, so I want to know when he's crossing that runway. So always make sure you're holding short before crossing runways.
November Bravo OT4 requesting to taxi to stand A1.
Bravo 024, you're cleared. Go ahead, just hold short before you cross runway 2608.
Copy that.
So now that the Cessna has cleared the runway, Giki is going to go ahead and ask permission again to take off, and I'm going to allow him. But you remember, always remember to ask permission to take off. That's getting IFR clearance. Because if you don't ask permission to take off, we may have our military come shoot you down as a bogey aircraft. So just always ask permission before you take off. That's a really important thing. Do it in the way that Gigi says it.
Uniform Lima Papa asking permission to take off at 36.
Uniform Lima Papa, you have permission to take off from 36. Have a nice flight.
Copy that. Have a nice day.
Now, right here, I think it's a pretty cool shot because you have the ultralight and the Cessna right there. But anyway, Trucker is going to ask permission to cross runway 2618. You always want to ask permission before you do pretty much anything in an airport roleplay. I'm just going to go ahead and clear him because we don't have any traffic on that runway. Both runways actually don't have any traffic. But again, always pretty much just ask permission for everything. If you need help asking permission with something, if you don't know you have to, just go ahead, go into FAQs and just ask.
November Bravo 024 requesting permission to cross runway 26.
Go ahead, Bravo 024. So now, right here, we're going to go ahead and hop into Photoshop, and I'm just going to explain some things on how the airport runs and certain things like that. We had a little bit more to record of this, but I guess my recording stopped early, and that's fine. It wasn't really that important anyway. Also, since I used that Logitech capture thing that hates my microphone, I'm going to sound like I am in a jar again. So sorry about that awful audio. I'm never using that again. Giki, thanks a lot, by the way. But yeah, let's just go ahead, hop into Photoshop, and explain some more. So now we are here in Photoshop, and I'm going to be showing you pretty much some routes and what to say when you're going on those routes. So, when you first spawn in your plane, you're going to start here at the garage. If you spawned it at the garage, at the airport garage, that is, which most people do. You're weird if you don't. I'm just joking. But you're most likely going to spawn at the garage, and then if you want to, you could come in and taxi to any slot. I usually just go in if A1's not taken. I just go in A1. Do all your pre-flight checks, and then ask permission to pull back from A1, and then you'll get permission to pull back, and then you could either take off from runway 36, 08, 26, or 18. Most people take off from 36 since it's right there. So you'd say, this is Bravo Romeo 123 requesting permission to taxi to runway 36, and most likely you'll get granted. So you go up here, you would hold short, and then you ask, this is Bravo Romeo 123 requesting permission to take off from runway 36. So what will you do? Come on, taxi onto the actual runway, and then go ahead, do your takeoff. Most people, you would want to turn right because that way just leads off the map. And then let's say you wanted to coming for a landing on runway 36. So what you would do, you would say, this is 123 requesting permission to come in for a landing on runway 36, and most likely you'll get granted. So you'd come in, and then you'd come down and land, and then if you stop before this taxiway, you can just go ahead and taxi onto here, and then ask to taxi to a slot. I mean, I guess you don't really have to ask, but it just helps it keep nice and organized. You can hold short here if another plane's coming, but if there's not, you don't have to. You could just come in right here and taxi. Let's say you went past the actual taxi point right here. So you'd come down, and then you'd keep coming down until you get to here, or if you need to, all the way down to here. And then you'd come down, you would hold short of runway 2608, and then you would ask permission. This is Bravo Romeo 123 requesting to cross runway 2608. You'll get granted, and then you cross, and then you do the same thing, just taxi. And then it's pretty much the same exact thing for runway 2608. You just request permission, come down. If you taxiing to 26, you'll come all the way down here, hold short, ask permission, take off, come down, and then take off. And then if you want to do runway 08, you just come down, hold short before crossing runway 3618, get permission, cross runway 3618, hold short, ask permission to take off, and then turn around and take off. Again, pretty much the same thing to take off from runway 18. You just go down, hold short before crossing, and then get permission, cross, and then take off. So you have to ask permission to do pretty much everything, to be honest, but that's how we keep it organized. That's how real airports work. So hopefully that helped you a little bit. So now we're gonna head over here to airfield. Airfield's not really that important. Sorry, airfield, but we have airfield here. You really don't have to do much for airfield. Just request permission to come down on airfield. So this is 123 requesting permission to come down on airfield, and then you would just come in for a nice landing, and then taxi back to here. Airfield, you don't really need too much permission because nobody really goes there. It's not really super regulated, but you still need permission and stuff to land on it. The actual airport's going to be the most crowded place. And then here's a more well, it's not really that detailed, but it's better. Like I explained it in the Google Docs, this is A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. So this is pretty much B, this is A, and then you just come in, taxi to A1, or come in B2, that's B1, not B2, and then like A2, B2, and so on. So, pretty simple. And I just want to remind you again on these rules. These rules, in my opinion, aren't that hard to follow. They might seem a little strict, but this is how we keep it organized and have a good reputation for it being pretty strict, not letting people like do crazy things. And then, like I said, if you're ATC or you're just a pilot and you ever need a little help, just remembering runways or something like that, or slots, just come into this the BVIA RP locations, and then it's right in here, nicely detailed. Runway 3618 is in red, and the numbers is in red, and then 2608 is in blue. And then we can also come over here. Again, the way to get this, and then the way to get to this again is in Discord through the rules. Whew, I think that was everything. So yeah, just make sure follow those rules. RP well. Hopefully that little presentation in Brickwigs, like in-game, was good enough. If you have any questions, go ahead, comment below, or join the server and go into FAQ and ask these questions. And then we, if they're good enough, we'll add them to the rules. So yeah, I think that was it. If you're new on BVIA, and you joined it, enjoy. And then if you just are watching the updated rules and the little beginner's guide, have fun. So yeah, again, I'm Pizza Fate, the owner up here, and Gicky helped direct the Brickrigs thing, even though it was supposed to be a roleplay. But yeah, if you're joining, enjoy the server, and if you're not, you're just randomly watching this video, consider joining the server. Okay, bye-bye.